I'm the one, not the two. I'm the one, not the two. Right? And people don't like that. They want everybody to be second and sad and mad and miserable.
Have you ever noticed that sometimes the more successful a person becomes, the more criticism they seem to attract? It's almost like winning isn't enough. No matter how many accomplishments they rack up, no matter how many records they break, there will always be people waiting to question them, challenge them, or even tear them down. And right now, that's exactly the situation surrounding Claressa Shields. The undefeated boxing champion is once again at the center of a growing controversy, and this time it has very little to do with what happens inside the ring. Instead, it's all about comments she recently made, her highly discussed relationship with Papoose, and the reaction that has completely taken over social media.
What do you have to say to the people that don't acknowledge you as the GOAT after all that you've done?
Just stop smoking crack. It's simple. It's not like a hard thing to not do. Like, just stop doing drugs. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and then open your eyes too.
What started as a few interview clips has now turned into a much larger conversation, with fans, critics, bloggers, and commentators all weighing in with their opinions. Now, before we get into everything that was said, I want you to pay close attention, because there are a few moments in this story that have people talking more than anything else. Some viewers believe Claressa is simply standing in her confidence and refusing to let negativity affect her. Others think her comments reveal something much deeper. Either way, the internet has been dissecting every word, and the discussion shows no signs of slowing down.
I'm having a baby next year.
Okay.
And that's Pap plan.
Does Pap know he's having a baby next year?
Pap, you know you're having a baby next year?
He said absolutely.
Well, it's funny you ask that because he asked me to have a baby.
Okay.
I
He's
don't have
ready.
no kids.
Okay.
So it's like, when he asked me, we supposed to have a baby this year.
Okay.
But I told him I got a few more girls' ass I want to kick. So we compromised with let me box this year, and then next year I can have my first kid and give him a kid.
The moment that really caught everyone's attention came when Claressa made a bold statement about herself. She essentially doubled down on the idea that she is at the top and suggested that many people simply don't like seeing her happy, successful, and thriving. According to her perspective, critics would rather see her upset, miserable, or struggling than celebrate her accomplishments. It's a message that resonates with some people because many successful individuals have expressed similar feelings. The idea that success can attract resentment isn't exactly new, but as soon as those comments started circulating online, the reactions came flooding in. Some fans immediately agreed with her. They pointed out her achievements in boxing, her championship victories, and her status as one of the most accomplished female fighters in history. To them, her confidence is earned. They argue that someone who has accomplished what Claressa has accomplished shouldn't have to shrink herself to make other people comfortable. However, not everyone saw it that way. Others felt that confidence and humility should go hand in hand. They argue that being successful doesn't automatically mean every criticism is rooted in jealousy. Some viewers suggested that the criticism Claressa receives often comes from her own public comments and actions rather than from people being unable to handle her success. And that's where this story starts getting even more interesting, because once people began debating those remarks, attention quickly shifted toward her relationship with Papoose. For months, social media has been filled with discussions surrounding Papoose, Remy Ma, and Claressa Shields. Every interview, every social media post, and every public appearance seems to create another round of speculation. The situation has become one of those celebrity stories that people simply can't stop talking about. Some believe Claressa and Papoose are genuinely happy together, and that the public should move on. Others believe there are still unanswered questions surrounding how everything unfolded. Regardless of where people stand, one thing is undeniable: the relationship continues to dominate conversations online. During the interview, another moment quickly went viral when Claressa was asked how she responds to people who don't acknowledge her as one of the greatest athletes in her sport. Many expected a thoughtful answer about her accomplishments, her journey, or the challenges she has overcome.
Celebrate what they can't take credit for.
Woo! It's hard for people to celebrate what they can't take credit for. Hallelujah. Amen to that. The haters ain't even see me coming. I didn't ask for permission. I didn't ask if y'all okay with female boxers. Are y'all okay with dark
Instead, her response surprised many viewers and instantly became one of the most discussed clips from the entire interview. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. Supporters found it funny and saw it as another example of Claressa refusing to take criticism seriously. Critics, however, felt it was dismissive and unnecessary. The debate quickly expanded beyond the original question and turned into another argument about whether Claressa's personality helps or hurt her public image. What's fascinating about this situation is how divided the audience has become. There are people who genuinely admire her fearlessness. They love the fact that she speaks her mind without worrying how others will react. In an era where many public figures carefully craft every statement, some fans appreciate her willingness to say exactly what she thinks. But there are also people who believe that being outspoken comes with responsibility. They argue that public figures influence millions of people, and that words matter, especially when discussing sensitive topics.
She is a horrible representation of both the sport and our culture. Now, many of us, including myself, had high hopes for her. I supported her. I sent her off in the right direction, but she has become a disappointment.
As social media continued debating those comments, the interview took another unexpected turn. The conversation shifted toward the future, more specifically, family and children, and this is where things became even more interesting. During the discussion, Claressa openly spoke about wanting to become a mother in the future. She discussed plans that appeared to involve starting a family and suggested that having children is something she sees in her future after accomplishing certain goals in boxing. The moment she said this, viewers immediately turned their attention toward Papoose. Suddenly, social media wasn't talking about boxing anymore. Instead, people were asking questions. Is this something both of them have seriously discussed? How far along is their relationship? What does the future actually look like? And perhaps the biggest question of all, are people reading too much into a conversation that was simply meant to be casual? Nobody outside of the individuals involved truly knows the answers, but as we've seen countless times before, uncertainty only fuels speculation. What makes this story especially compelling is that it touches on topics many people can relate to. Relationships are complicated. Public relationships are even more complicated. Add celebrity status, social media, and millions of opinions into the mix, and things become even more difficult to navigate. Throughout all of this, Claressa appears completely unbothered. While critics continue debating her comments, she remains focused on her career. She continues training, competing, posting on social media, and speaking openly about her life. Whether people love her or dislike her, she refuses to let outside opinions dictate how she presents herself. And perhaps that's the biggest reason this conversation keeps growing, because people are drawn to confidence. Some admire it, some question it, some are inspired by it, and some are irritated by it, but almost nobody ignores it. That's why every interview creates headlines. That's why every statement becomes a trending topic. And that's why Claressa Shields continues to dominate conversations both inside and outside the world of boxing. The real question now is what happens next. Will the focus return to her accomplishments inside the ring? Will the discussions surrounding her personal life continue to overshadow everything else? Or will another interview create an entirely new wave of headlines that nobody sees coming? At this point, anything seems possible. One thing is certain, though. Claressa Shields remains one of the most talked about athletes in sports today. Whether people support her or criticize her, they're paying attention. And in today's world, attention is often the most valuable currency of all. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Claressa is simply being confident and unapologetically herself? Or do you think some of the criticism she's receiving is justified? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.